Hey there, so it's been about 2 months since I last did a life update video and told you about the kinds of habits and things that I was going to be working on, along with just the activities and events we were going to be going to. So I figured I'd share a little bit more about what we've been up to in the last month or so, and also tell you more about the habits, specifically the daily habits that I'm working on right now, and just some of the goals that I have in terms of Break the Twitch and other life things that we're working on.
Break the Twitch.
Two of the major things to report on were the two trips that we took. Amy and I went to Portland for World Domination Summit in August. That was a lot of fun and a really interesting event. It wasn't really exactly what I had expected, but at the same time, I'm not sure what I totally expected with that event. It was a lot of fun, and I think it was just kind of this big experience of meeting a ton of people and meeting people with different interests and things. We did a ton of stuff like acro yoga. We did that for 2 days. We did improv, and we just did a bunch of different things, just learning about ourselves. I went to a session about writing a book, which is something I've needed to be working on for quite a while now. And just, I don't know, I think there's just this environment of entrepreneurship and just people that want to live an unconventional lifestyle and want to come together around community and service. So that was really cool. If you're interested at all in online business or just changing the world in a positive way, I would definitely check out World Domination Summit. Amy and I will be there in July of 2017 in Portland again, so I'd love to meet you there if you're going to be there next year or if you're interested in going. So I've kind of gone in reverse order here, but earlier, before WDS, we went to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan to visit my father's hometown where he grew up. It's a really small town called Stambo, Michigan, and it doesn't even really exist anymore. It's been kind of consumed by Iron River, Michigan, which is yet another really small town in the Upper Peninsula. So we went there, and it's about a 5-hour drive from Minneapolis, so that was kind of a fun little road trip. And we went there and hung out. They have this great pizza place called Riverside Pizza. My dad says it's the best pizza in the world, and arguably it is really, really good. It's almost worth making the 5-hour drive out there just to go get that pizza. The other really cool aspect was there's this building in the town called the Duke of Abruzzi. And now this place was the Italian Society back in the 20s and 30s. I think it went all the way through the 1970s. So it was this Italian society, kind of like a social club. And I've seen it other times that we've gone to Stambo or gone to Iron River to visit my father's hometown to see kind of what, just to visit and see what was going on there. But this time we actually got to go inside. It was really neat just being able to go inside because it turns out there was a picture on the roster of all the members from back in the 1970s of my great grandfather, Anthony J. Ongaro, which is my exact name. It's fascinating because he was born 99 years before I was. I was born in 1985. He was born in 1886. So we got to go and actually go into this building because we were able to connect with a person that owned the building now and uses it for their business. It's not really active other than the bocce ball court out in the front area. So we got to go inside and we went into the basement and got to look around and just check out this space where my great-grandfather used to play cards and hang out. And I guess they used to make homemade Italian wine as well at this place that everyone would contribute to and make. So that was a really cool experience, getting to just kind of physically be in the same space where my great-grandfather was, because he was never alive. He passed about a decade before I was even born. So that was a neat thing and something I'll always remember. Okay, so let's talk about daily habits. Many of you know that my philosophy around Break the Twitch is doing a little bit of what you want to do every single day so that essentially you become the person who does that thing. Long-term goals can be broken down into just small daily actions that will either get you close or get you there over time. So my main focus with Break the Twitch is daily action, creating habits that you do every single day, and you get towards your goal as you do them. So with that in mind, the daily habits that I was talking about in my last life update video were these. I was writing 500 words per day. was doing 20 push-ups or squats. I was tracking finances every single day, so entering expenses and income. And then I was reading 20 pages per day as well, and then expressing gratitude every single day. So here's how that went. I would say that over the last 2 months, I hit those about 50-50. Now, that might not seem like a lot, but there's about a week of that we were in Portland for WDS, and there was a lot of walking involved for Portland, so we were really tired every day, and so I kind of counted that as exercise, even though I didn't do the actual 20 squats or push-ups, for example. And I've also implemented some other habits as well. But to go back, the writing 500 words a day, so that habit just continues to be really hard for me to maintain. I'm back doing it right now, so I started again about a week ago doing 500 words a day, and I've missed one day so far out of the week, and I think that's okay. What I've realized is it can be really hard to do something every single day, especially if it's productive, something like you're working on, establishing something or building a blog or doing stuff like that. Writing 500 words, sometimes the day just flies by and you just don't get to it. And that's okay. I've kind of come to terms with the fact that maybe I'm not going to be able to do 6 things consistently every single day for the rest of my life. There's just going to be times when it doesn't make sense to do it. And that's okay. So I think I'm really going to focus on just hitting a high percentage. Even though I got about 50% over the last 2 months, I'm going to focus on just getting a higher percent. For example, I think 5 days a week out of 7 of completing the 500 word habit and the push-up habit and the different things would go just fine. So for the financial tracking, we did that really well in July, but I didn't do great in August. A lot of that was, again, because we were gone and we were just doing a lot of the stuff with this event, but also I've just found it easier to kind of batch process that stuff. It's really time consuming to sit down at the end of every day and enter expenses and do just kind of all that tallying. It's much faster to just do it once a week or do it even twice a month when you just batch process all of the income, all of the outgoing money, and do that. So I didn't end up making that a daily habit, and again, I think that's okay. It's still important to track the money coming in and out, so we'll continue doing that, but probably in less of a daily fashion. The one daily habit that I've really been struggling with is the reading one. I've just been finding it incredibly difficult to sit down and read 20 pages, and I'm not sure why that is. I did it successfully for a couple months, but these days it just seems like I'm either planning a video or doing email or just doing so many other things that involve processing information and planning and reading that, I don't know, I have not been able to just separate myself and just sit down for 30 minutes or an hour, however long it takes to do that. So I don't know how I'm gonna handle that. I need to kind of modify my behavior a little bit because I still think that doing 20 pages a day makes a ton of sense, but I'm not quite doing it. So I might take it down to 10 pages a day. I might just shift it going forward, but we'll talk about that in just a minute. Now that you know about how I did with the daily habits that I talked about in early July, I'd say maybe I'd give myself a 6 out of 10 on those. Definitely room to improve, but I'm proud that definitely made progress in the process of staying healthy, staying fit. There are 2 things that I implemented that I had not planned for back in the last video, and this is what they are. One, I decided to make a major change in my life and start avoiding sugar. So avoiding added sugar and avoiding desserts and just really sugary foods. The core of it is that I am a complete sugar addict. I have difficulty with portion control when it comes to a lot of sweets and a lot of sugar and stuff, and that is simply because of sugar addiction. And so I had to just completely cut it out to break the cycle of craving sugar and craving sweet stuff. So that's what I did. I actually went 30 days from July 18th onward. I went 33 days without eating any desserts or high sugar items. And it made a huge change. Between that diet shift, I was still eating a ton of other food, so I wasn't avoiding food or starving myself. But between just not eating desserts or really high sugar items and then walking a ton in Portland and just doing some of the basic exercises, I lost like 11 pounds or so over the course of that month. It was really cool seeing the way my body reacted to not eating so much sugar. So that was a hugely positive thing. And now I've shifted to doing 14 days of no desserts, no really high sugar items, and 1 day of eating whatever I want. So it's 14 days of like more just strict low sugar stuff. I still eat bread. I still eat other things that have carbs in them. I just don't really eat those super high, like cookies or baked goods or other things like that. So 14 days off, 1 day on, 14 days off, 1 day on. And I think that's something I can really maintain. Because I'm not eating sugar regularly, I just don't crave it as much, and so it's really helped with that. So that's one thing I did that's been super productive, and I'm excited to continue through hopefully the rest of my life because it seems to be a good balance for me. The other somewhat interesting thing that I did was I completed a 30-day daily vlog project. Many of you might have seen it because I talked about it in a previous video on this channel. For those that didn't, you can see the description of this video and I'll put a link to my other channel where I did this project as well. But basically, I uploaded a video every single night. I would record a video that day, work on it, edit it that night, and upload it for an 8 a.m. upload the next morning. It was really challenging, but it definitely taught me a lot about editing. It taught me a lot about filmmaking and just kind of pushing myself to ship. The best way to learn stuff, in my experience, is just to ship work and get it out there and just do it, right? Just do what you want to do every single day. In fact, it's funny, I'm wearing my Create Everyday shirt that's from a friend of mine who runs a company called ConvertKit. It's what I use for my email service. But yeah, create every day. It's a philosophy that I really believe in. If you want to do something, you just have to do it every day in order to get better. You got to ship a lot of work, and it might suck at first. It might be really bad, and it might not look like you want it to look like. But you just got to keep doing it because that's how you'll put your hours in. That's how you'll get better. And that's how it'll all come together. So to wrap up the daily habits, I'm gonna be working on the 500 words per day. That's a continued habit that I need to just keep working on, even though it went okay over the last 2 months. Just need to keep working on it because I know that that's exactly what I need to do to create more content and to get more ideas out there and just kind of cultivate my own ideas. It really helps me a lot. So gonna be writing, working on not eating sugar for 14 days and then 1 day of eating sugar. And then also the 20 push-ups, 20 squats, whatever those are, still working on that stuff. Gratitude every day, that's a big one. I just try to focus on doing that every day no matter what. And then I think I'm gonna round down from 20 pages a day to 10 pages a day to see if I can hit that more consistently. So I'll do 10 pages a day of reading and go from there. Other than that, Amy and I will just be here in Minneapolis for the next 4 to 6 weeks or so, working on Break the Twitch, writing, making videos, and also working on our video business. So we make videos for other people as well, not just the Break the Twitch YouTube channel. If you're curious about what it takes to start a YouTube channel or how to start filming videos, or if you have a need for some type of video, I'd be happy to help you. If you have a question, just shoot me a comment in the comment section below and we'll go from there. We'll make some stuff and I'll see if I can answer your question. So thanks again for your time and attention, and I'll see you all very soon. Take care.